Collecting debt as a doctor. Is it worth your while? I think doctors have a hopeful view of the usefulness of debt collectors. Doctors have a huge fear of unpaid bills and imagine or hope that if a patient doesn't pay, they can just refer it to a debt collector and the debt collector will magically resolve the situation. In reality, a debt collector is going to send a few stern letters, maybe make a few stern phone calls, a few stern text messages, but there's not a great deal more they can do than that. Managing debts internally brings some ownership and investment in getting these outcomes. The staff of your practice are more likely to be committed to getting an outcome than an external debt collection agency. External debt collection agency has a business model based on high turnover, low effort, inverted commas, to try and get bills paid. They're going to punch out a bunch of emails, a bunch of letters, a bunch of text messages, a bunch of phone calls. And if they get some success, awesome. If they don't get some success, they'll probably move on and put it in the too hard basket. By contrast, in your practice with your own staff, if you can give them the time to follow up with patients, your staff are probably more invested in getting a good outcome for you. It's a game of patience, tolerance, persistence. If you're trying to collect debts internally, you need to set up a routine to get your bills paid. You need to dedicate time to making those phone calls. It's just like dedicating the time to getting your health fund and Medicare rejections and exceptions resolved. The biggest unnecessary cost, of course, is the cost of not getting paid. The one thing that people quite often think is that they can write it off, and if they write it off, they get a tax deduction. Well, there's a whole accounting explanation behind that, but in summary, for doctors who typically report their tax on a cash basis, there's no such thing as a tax loss that arising from an unpaid bill. An unpaid bill is purely money that you don't receive, so there's no tax benefit in that at all. Use your internal team to do everything they can to get your bills paid. Only go to a third-party external debt collection agency once you've exhausted all those possible means. When you do go to an external agent, have realistic expectations about their success or not.